Hi, I'm Chuck Colson with this week's 2-Minute Warning. In a recent New York Times piece entitled "The Evangelical Rejection of Reason," Christian professors Carl Giberson and Randall Stevens call for a sort of intellectual jihad on all believers who question Darwinism, man-made global warming, or so-called gay marriage. Political candidates who hesitate to fully embrace these dogmas, they say, are the biggest offenders. The Republican presidential field has become a showcase, they write, of anti-intellectualism. The rejection of science, they say, seems to be part of a politically monolithic red state fundamentalism, textbook evidence of an unyielding ignorance on the part of the religious. Wow. They cite several candidates' doubts about Darwinian evolution and climate change as evidence for this ignorance. They also ridicule organizations like Focus on the Family for supporting traditional marriage and biblical parenting, as well as other groups and leaders with conservative political and theological beliefs. I'm only surprised I didn't make the list. Giberson and Stevens even tag Sunday school, church, summer camps, and Christian colleges as fruits of what they call the ignorance of American evangelicals. Now, I read the New York Times every day, and so I'm used to healthy disagreement, but that's not what this article was all about. It was a clear message from two Christian scholars to the rest of the church. Your beliefs are illegitimate. If you don't think the way we do, it's because you're ignorant. In Giberson and Stevens' own words, Christians in America embrace discredited, ridiculous, and even dangerous ideas. I'm deeply saddened, friends, that Christian brothers resort to this sort of argument. In fact, this argument reminds me a lot of one of the more famous of the 20th century's liberal activists, Saul Alinsky. In his famous book, Rules for Radicals, Alinsky calls ridicule man's most potent weapon. Pick the target, he writes, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it. Cut off the support networks and isolate the target from sympathy. In other words, undermine legitimacy. Alinsky taught that one of the best ways for someone with a weak case to win their argument is to make their opponent appear stupid or evil in the eyes of the public. Folks, this is the kind of argument evangelicals who hold orthodox beliefs are facing more and more these days. If you don't buy into the gay agenda, you've got to be a hateful bigot. If you question any aspect of evolution or see evidence in nature for intelligent design, you're anti-science. Nonsense. But it's that kind of ridicule that enforces what I told you about last week on the 2-Minute Warning, the spiral of silence. A vocal minority can cow a majority of people into silence by using ridicule, by inferring that their position is the only reasonable one and that only unreasonable people oppose it. Folks, we can and we must break the spiral of silence when it comes to things like creation, traditional marriage, human life, religious freedom, and that's exactly why we built the Colson Center. We've got all kinds of materials here and programs like the Centurions program to equip you to defend truth, to have confidence that you can go toe-to-toe with unbelievers and do so in a reasoned, winsome way, and without having to resort to ridicule. So please, visit us often at colsoncenter.org. The culture and the church need you to break the spiral of silence. I'm Chuck Colson. That's this week's 2-Minute Warning.